What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video. Now, typically your boy Doody does the daily rat review early in the morning, but today I decided to call an audible and do something different. That's right. In the spirit of changing things up, like DSP gaming, keeping it fresh, keeping it new, your boy Doody decided to do a topic style video. And the topic in question that I want to talk about, of course, is Phil's new scam segment. That's right. He, out of nowhere, just out of the blue, came up with a grand idea, or a grand scam as I like to call it, of how he can extract money from the Velcro wallets. That's right. Now you might say to yourself, well, Doody, what's new? I mean, Phil's tried everything, right? Well, he's never tried this specific idea, and I think it's a great one. So let's hear Phil describe this idea, and Doody will talk about it a little bit more. So let's get into it.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe pro wrestling shouldn't be a dedicated show. Maybe, okay, all right. You know what? All right, you know what? Maybe we're coming up with a different idea. All right, bear with me for a second here, everyone. How does this sound? All right, this is interesting now, okay? How about this? How about a show that's a variety show? It's not a dedicated podcast like this show where we talk about my schedule and we talk about how stuff went and we talk about gaming news, but instead, it's a variety show, all right? About various different topics. Maybe one day we are covering big game news, but another day we're covering real life news. Maybe one day we're covering politics. Maybe one segment we're talking about pro wrestling. And how about this? Because I actually have my shit together now, I could actually have guests on the show from all different walks of life to talk about various topics via Discord. I like this idea, but we'd have to flesh it out and figure out how to do it, how often to do it, how to put it into the schedule, because this wouldn't be just a podcast for an hour and a half. This would be like an actual stream. Like my whole day stream, right, would be this. And I could have various different people joining at different times for different things that are going on, right? That could be cool. And it wouldn't be the level 1 podcast. It would be a new show. My podcast would still be my podcast, but there'd be a new show going on. I don't know how often to do it. See, we got to figure this out. Like, how often do you do it? What do you call it? How does it work? Let's talk about this more. I don't want to take too much of the show today because we got to do the Oblivion stuff today, but I like this idea, and I think this is something to discuss and flesh out further. I think it's actually a solid idea to have this kind of variety in my content, okay? Also, it'd be nice if this giant hair lump would go down. So I'm going to go brush it right now because it's driving me nuts.
Alrighty, folks. So what exactly was this new fresh idea, or AKA scam?
Phil has the pignosis.
That's right, Phil has the pignosis.
And brainwashes his...
No, this idea is a brand fresh new idea that Phil's never thought of before. That's right. It's something new, something fresh. No one else in the Snortex, the Vortex, the YouTubeverse, the Twitterverse, the internet has thought of this idea. What exactly is it, folks? The Level 2 Podcast. That's right. That's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it a Level 2 Podcast. Now, Phil wants to make it seem like, oh, this is something different and unique. No, it's not my podcast. It's different than the podcast. And then he goes and describes what exactly the show is going to entail. It's going to essentially be him talking, which he does that on his podcast. It's going to be him doing interviews, which he's done that on his podcast before. It's going to be him talking about wrestling, which he's done before. It's going to be him talking gaming, which he currently does now. It's essentially everything that he's done in the past. He's just going to slap a new name to it. And Doody thinks he should call it the Level 2 Podcast, straight up. He should just call it the Level 2 Podcast. Because that's all this is. It's an extended podcast. Good. Wow, Phil. Amazing. I can see why you love this idea and you think this is going to be great. Create a show where you spend 3 hours talking about whatever topics you feel like talking about. And you know what? I'm going to go out there on the limb and say that one of the segments is going to be a Q&A segment with his Dents. I'm willing to put down $1,000 of my own money that there's going to be a segment where there's going to be Q&A, because he's going to either run out of ideas, or he's going to be too tired, or he's going to be lazy, or support's going to be slow, and he's going to essentially make his chat submit into giving him tips, because it seems like that's what he does now. Whenever support's slow, he'll do the Q&A, and he essentially holds the chat hostage until they donate, until they support. Now, if he was smart and wanted to do a real, a real show where it's different topics, different ideas, different segments, he would do a little bit better. He would do something more than essentially just have people on Discord, do Q and beg sessions. Dude, come up with something cool. Come up with some grand ideas. Some like this would have been good, Phil, if you would have said to yourself, maybe I would like once a month I'd go out and do a IRL podcast via my phone and either go into town, go check something out. Maybe you could do a DSP tries it at a fast food restaurant, Phil. Maybe you could do that. I mean, that right there is something different, Phil. But you sitting there for 3 hours and doing the same thing you've done for the last, 10 years and just package it and give it a new name is not a fresh idea, Phil. It's not something new. And what exactly new are you going to do? You've done it before and you've quit it. Or are you going to have a DSP politics segment in your show? Like the 30 minutes. So the way I envision this is Phil takes his break to go pee and check on his horse. And then he comes back and then he does some begging. And then he'll be on the schedule. And he'll have topic 1. Let's talk about, I don't know. Let's talk about some politics. And then that'll go for 30 minutes. And then topic 2, let's react to something. Phil, it's the same thing you're doing. You're essentially repackaging all the crap that you tried to peddle out recently that no one cares about. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be food reviews. It's going to be potential interviews if anybody wants to come onto that show. We know how difficult it's been for Phil to get guests on his show in the last, 8-9 months. He's gotten, 4 people maybe, max, to do interviews with him on his podcast. So it's not going to work. He complained that Smart Guys was too much work. It was too difficult because he was spending too much time watching TV and trying to set up Discord calls. What do you think this is going to be if you do this type of show, Phil? You're going to be doing the same exact thing because you're going to have to read up on topics. You're going to have to contact people to be guests. You're going to have to line things up. And of course, maybe support might be okay at the beginning. But just like everything you do, Phil, the support dies eventually. 3 or 4 episodes in, no one cares. It gets boring. It's the same thing because you want to do the same thing and you don't want to change it up. Like if you, honestly, Phil, listen to me, Phil. If you really want this to succeed, think outside of the box. Do something different. Don't do the same shit you're doing. You're essentially just doing an extended podcast. And you're trying to call it a new, fresh idea. That's not a new, fresh idea, Phil. Just because you're extending a show for 3 hours and talking about different... That's a fucking podcast. Phil, that's a podcast. I come on like yesterday. I streamed yesterday for 3 hours. We talked about different topics. That's a fucking podcast, Phil. It doesn't matter. Dude, I'm going to do a segment on my podcast where I'm going to allow callers to call in. I'm going to set up a Discord box. They can call in and we could chat. And that'll be like an hour segment on my podcast. That's something different, Phil. That's something different. That's something that you would never do because you're way too fucking afraid that someone's going to say something inappropriate. People are going to troll you. You're too much of a coward to do something like that. But that would be something out of the box, Phil, that you refuse to do. Dude, even doing, why don't you do like, I don't know, Phil, man. You've done the same shit over and over again. And you're just too lazy. You don't have the energy. You don't have the fortitude. You don't have the work ethic to see something through. I heard him yesterday complaining that he did 14 episodes of Smart Guys and it didn't blow up. And, dude, do you really think that most people that do shows that after 5 or 6 months that it catches on, that it blows up? Not even, because you started this in January, so it's been about 3 or 4 months. Phil, sometimes it takes years for shows to catch on. But just because support dwindled, just because you didn't hit your $150 goal on your last Smart Guys, even though it was a grand marathon stream, whatever the hell you called it, you decide to quit it. And you're just moving on to the next grift. Phil's just moving on to the next grift. He knows that this new show, probably he'll get 4 or 5 episodes out of it. It's going to die. No one's going to care. And then he's going to, as Phil loves to say, he's going to put it on the back burner to work on more important things. And then he'll come up with another grift, another scam, and so goes the cycle. He reminds me so much of Cyrax. I'm noticing that I'm saying that a lot lately. I'm saying that Phil's reminding me of Cyrax so much in his mentality, in his delusions. He literally is reminding me of Cyrax. Like, this is the type of shit Cyrax does. You know, he'll come on his show, video. He'll talk about all the shit he's going to do, the channel rebranding, all this stuff. And then literally an hour later, he's talking about deleting the channel because of the trolls. And then he's back on the next episode saying he's not going to change. He's going to keep doing the same thing. He's not going anywhere. And then literally 3 hours later, he's deleting the channel. Phil, you're becoming Cyrax. You need to really chill with that, brother. You need to chill. You need to come up with an idea, stick with it, you know, change it up from time to time. And Phil doesn't understand that you can have a show, and if it loses interest, it's okay to tweak it. You don't have to fully change it or just trash it. Just tweak it a bit to make it work. You tried that with Smart Guys. When you were doing Smart Guys with PPP, it was pretty successful with the drama content. You decided you didn't like that. You booted PPP off. You stopped the drama content, right? And then you decided to do all wrestling, and that didn't work. And instead of retooling the show again, you wage quit it. This next show is not going to be any different. It really isn't. And Phil, you should just call it the Level 2 Podcast, because that's what it is. It's an extended podcast of you doing the same exact shit you do every single day, and nothing's going to be different. Anyway, just wanted to give my thoughts on this new show, the new brand new scam that Phil's going to bring out and try to extract the money out of the Velcro wallets. We'll see what he has to say. I'm pretty sure this will be a lengthy topic on the next several podcasts. Anyway, hope you guys had a good day. Peace out.